My name is Irene, and I first started taking ballet when I was little, about 9 years old. The way I got into ballet was I had a friend who lived in my neighborhood, and she took ballet from a local ballet school. This is in the United States where I grew up. And when I used to go to her house, she would teach me her dance. Yeah, so then I would go home and I kept asking my mom, my parents, please sign me up for classes. And I guess I asked enough times that eventually they signed me up, and that's how I got started. We were here in India, and then we moved back to the US for a while, and then we moved back to India in 2014. And by that time I had 2 daughters who were dancing, and I honestly don't know if I would have been as interested in moving back if Yana hadn't been here. My girls were interested in ballet. They were doing well in the US. They wanted to continue, but to me, the quality of the teaching was very important. And so knowing that Yana was here, knowing the quality of the studio and the fellow dancers, it made me that much more interested in moving back to India. Yeah. For me, ballet is lifelong learning. I don't think there's ever a point when you can say, I'm done. There's always something new to learn. And so I look forward to the classes because you're working on yourself. I really like that about ballet, and also how Miss Yana approaches teaching. She's constantly building on, the corrections that she gave previously, so that you can, as long as you apply them, you can keep going and getting better. To me, there's no age limit. If you're interested in learning anything, even as an adult, whether it's you're interested in learning art, playing the piano, or ballet, I think if you approach it in that open way, I'm going to put myself out there. I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to keep going and try to get better. There doesn't need to be an age limit. As you get older, you're not as flexible as you used to be. You can't jump as high as you once did. And that's brought to life every class, especially when you're dancing primarily with teens. As long as I feel that I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still changing, that's enough for me. Yeah, ballet has nothing to do with looking pink and pretty. I can tell you that much. It's extremely demanding. In ballet, it's like, this is the move. You put your leg here, and then you step in this way. The discipline and the repeatability of that discipline is very important for ballet. I like that sense of accomplishment when you're done. Miss Yana was telling us, you're not pushing yourselves hard enough. I know you're tired. I know it's hot and you're exhausted, but you have to keep pushing yourself. And there's nothing like when you're done and you have pushed yourself afterwards and you're like, wow, that was really hard and I did it. One of the most important things that you can get out of your journey here at TLFCB is super strong foundation. Miss Yana is very steeped in correct placement, correct technique, all of these tiny little details. She'll talk to you about a muscle that you didn't even know existed. And you're like, is there a muscle there? And she's like, oh, there is. And you're like, oh, wow. And then once you have that foundation, it gives you the freedom to be artistic, to perform, right? And I think the students here really benefit from her deep knowledge and her many, many years of teaching experience to build that foundation. Oh, I enjoy being on stage and performing. I mean, class is one thing, and that's where you learn your technique and that's where you hone your skill. But ballet is a performing art. And if you're not performing, if you're not putting yourself out there for the enjoyment of the audience, to me, it's like the glass is only half full. And that in and of itself is a different skill. Yeah, not every dancer is a performer, but the more you practice, the more you can become a performer. I had this quick change. The second costume that I was putting on had a big zip all the way up the back. We were struggling with the zip to get it up. But then I heard the music and I'm like, I gotta go, sorry. So I went out on stage. The entire back was open, but you just keep going. I mean, the show must go on. Don't be afraid to fail. Ballet dancers all over the world have messed up their choreography, have fallen, have, just done complete disaster performances, but they keep going. And failing is part of learning. So I would say don't be afraid to fail, because that's how you learn the most. I want to keep dancing for as long as I can. I hope to be here when I'm, 80 years old, and Miss Yana will still be teaching me and I'll still be taking classes from her. I do it to improve my physical health, my mental health, and just have fun. Keep going. And so, yeah, that's what I want to keep doing.